heading for one of the highest and most inaccessible places on the planet, a remote and mountainous corner of India, closed to the outside world for over 30 years and only recently opened to foreigners. The Spiti Valley is a small Tibetan enclave in the high Himalayas. Special permits are still required due to the close proximity of the Tibetan border. Heavy snow cuts off the valley from the rest of the world for 7 months of the year. Only between June and October do the snows on the high passes melt enough to allow access. Even then, landslides frequently block the 2 access roads, sealing off the valley once more. We would attempt to get there on classic British motorbikes, Royal Enfield Bullets, renowned for being sturdy and reliable, but would their 1950s design stand up to the treacherous Himalayan roads? We would have to navigate some of the highest and most dangerous roads on the planet, stunning gorges with roads dynamited out of cliff faces, and pass through layers of Indian bureaucracy to reach this modern day Shangri-La. As we flew into Delhi, we had no idea if the roads were open. 3 months of incessant monsoon rain had caused havoc to the region's roads and killed many people. Our fate lay in the hands of the mountain gods.
We're up on the terrace at the Hotel Bluebell, first night, waiting for the beers to arrive.
And we're on our way up to Shimla in the morning. We've got a train at 6:30. We've had bugger all sleep in about 2.5 days, and someone owes me an apology for getting me to the airport at 10 o'clock at night with no bar.
How you doing, Phil? Right? Is it hot enough for you?
Very warm, mate.
It's what, it's about 30 degrees, would you say? Very humid?
Very humid, yeah. Shorts, right thing, sandals.
Yeah, shorts on. Steve?
Hi, my name's Steve and I'm a reformed alcoholic. And I've got all my socks on and they're not very warm at all.
It's red hot here now, wait till we get up in the mountains.
What do you guys?
I'm tired, I'm hot. I've been ripped off for 500 rupees for 2 beers from me and James.
Yeah. I'll give you 100 though.
They've not actually arrived yet. So, and we've got to get up in about 3 hours' time.
The filth and poverty of Delhi is quite a culture shock. It was evident on the way to the station where we saw what looked like dead or at least dying bodies in the gutter. Along the railway tracks people did their morning ablutions, oblivious to those around them.
So nice sunny Sunday morning in New Delhi station, not exactly St Pancras, but hey, we're on our way.
We found out later that the Shatabdi Express is one of the fastest and most prestigious trains in India, regularly getting up to speeds of 110 kilometers an hour, and there was a constant stream of food brought to us by smartly clad waiters.
How do I do this? Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I thought that was it.
You just put the biscuit in the gas.
Meditating.
Have a bad drink, aren't you?
The narrow gauge train from Kalpa to Shimla is one of the most spectacular and steepest in the world. The train track is a marvel of British engineering, elegantly bending and looping from the Punjab plains up to Shimla at 2,000 metres, but the train takes forever to make the climb. We didn't realise at the time, but it would take us over 8 hours to travel the 96 kilometres to Shimla. Opened in 1903, it climbs 1,400 metres and goes through 103 tunnels and over 864 bridges.
Cooler up here. Cooling down a bit, isn't it?
Cooling down a bit.
Yeah.
I've just woke up.
Spotting the local vegetation that grows wild. As you can see, hash or cannabis.
I thought it was a carrot.
No. You can dry this out and smoke it. It's like a relaxed and if you just pan around there with the camera, look, it's just growing.
It is very white.
This one's got little buds on though.
We also found out that this particular train wasn't one of the expresses, it was one of the locals that stopped at every station, although it was good to see a slice of Indian life. The driver also kindly let us ride on the footplate. The gradient steepens, the overladen train slows to a crawl. The train is going so slowly that people get out and walk alongside. To keep up spirits, a group of local students enthusiastically entertains us with Bollywood songs and dancing. The driver throws dirt under the wheels to stop them from slipping. 8 hours after leaving Kalka and 3 hours late, the Himalayan Queen finally arrives in Shimla. It's been a trip to remember or forget. Shimla, the capital of Himachal Pradesh, is built on 7 hills at an altitude of 2,200 metres in the foothills of the Himalayas. At one time it was the summer capital of the British Raj. Most of the town is pure Indian chaos, but high upon the ridge the old town is a pocket of little old England. Monkeys wander the streets along with the Indian tourists. One thing that makes Shimla so delightful is the traffic-free zones and plazas along the mall on the ridge top. Porters carry unfeasibly large loads on their backs up from the road to the hillside shops and markets. The bikes were provided by Lally Singh of India Motors in Delhi. After months of emails and internet phone calls, the bikes were to be prepared to our specification and then sent to Shimla by truck, where we'd see them for the first time. This is where we'd meet Lally Singh's men to sort out paperwork and get an introduction to the bikes. After that, we'd be on our own.
See, this side is little finishing. This is horn. India is very important, the horn. Patrol is come to reserve. Is going 20-25 kilometers, not more than. So come to reserve.
Next.
Clutch lever with bracket normal.
Clutch lever with bracket. Yeah. Another bikes same. Okay.
Handbrake lever disc 2.
Handbrake lever, right hand side lever, 2 pieces.
Handbrake bracket disc 2.
Right hand side bracket, 2 pieces.
Headlight bulb 2.
Headlight bulb, 2 pieces.
And backlight bulb 2.
Tail light bulb, 2 pieces.
Carburetor manifold rubber 2.
Manifold rubber, 2 pieces. Padlock. Padlock. Okay. That is a 4 pieces and 2 pieces inside the box. Yeah. Thank you.
Steve's special sheepskin adaptation. Oh, good.
Bhagwan Vishnu, Mangalam Garud Dhwaja, Mangalam Pundri Kansho, Mangalay Tano Hari, Om Brahma Murari, Tripurantakari, Bhanu Sasi Bhumi Suto.
Okay, we're in the government HQ in Shimla, getting our inline passes for the Spiti Valley.
So we've come to see Gopal Sharma, and he's the additional district magistrate of Shimla, and we need to see him regarding our inner line passes.
You come India previously also?
No, that was the route.
Having waited for hours outside his office, he then kept us another 2 hours, grilling us one by one like naughty schoolboys about our reasons for visiting the sensitive border area of Spiti, and then lecturing us about his time in Birmingham in the UK as a student and his favourite religious guru, amongst other things. Without his rubber stamp on the inner line permits, our planned route would be off before it had even begun, and he knew it.
Birmingham is England's second city officially.
Once we'd finally got the inner line permit stamped, it was off to meet Ganpat, Lally Singh's man, to pick up the keys and the paperwork for the bikes. So after months of preparations, we were finally ready to hit the road.
Chris, have you got the spanners? Eamon's come off his bike already.
There you go, skid marks on the floor there.
Okay, we just left Shimla on the way to Narkanda. We've all been split up, just me and Chris left. Pretty mad time coming through the Shimla. Really bad roads, so we're now just waiting for the other guys to catch up. We're presuming they're behind us because they went into the town and we actually came out of the town.
Yeah, we got stopped by the police, didn't we? We got turned around. We were following everybody else.
Yeah.
And then the police stopped us and said, "You can't go down here. It's a pedestrian road.
Yeah.
Restricted." So we had to turn around and come back.
Yeah.
So we're on our own at the moment.
No worries though.
No worries.
So yeah, that's it.
What's up, Phil? Is it your clutch, mate?
Yeah, clutch, yeah, it just needs adjusting.
What's up with
it? Just dragging, pulling in gear, can't stop it at all. Can't stop the bike.
Mine was the same.
Andy?
A bit more.
Not too much, James started to strip off already.
Cooking! Gaz has got his knife out already. Cooking.
We've had a bit of an incident on the road to Narkanda.
Hey?
Phil's bike spun around and it's now chucking out a load of clutch oil, so and his back brake has come off.
Mate, just broke away from me.
Yeah.
Just dropped it. It come right round on me.
You reckon you want to take it off, or do you reckon you just take it off? Yeah.
Just straight on with it. Because if I try and bend that back, it's going to snap all together.
We need that to get to a workshop. It's full, that is. Eat it up.
That's well and truly buggered into that.
Cheers, mate.
I just saw you in the mirror, Phil, and I thought, I mean, obviously we weren't doing any speed.
No, we weren't.
Simon, what did you see?
I just seen Phil in my mirror hitting the deck, and I heard the noise, and I thought, what the fuck's happened there? So I didn't stop, I carried on to stop Andy, because I knew you had the rest of the crew behind you. And there was no traffic ahead. The other thing I was going to do was stand in the road to stop any traffic coming around that bend, but luckily the road was clear.
Yeah.
Alright, mate. Fucking good job we brought you with us.
Thing is, we can get over it. And well, the most important thing is Phil ain't hurt.
That's right, yeah. Hey.
The local workforce.
Road construction gang, all watching.
Road construction gang, yeah.
How embarrassing.
Monkey!
In there, the front end's just gone away from me, guys.
The back end then?
The front end, and it's fetched the back round. As the bike struck, you can see the impact of the brake.
Not gassing it?
Wasn't gassing it, no. Only plodding. Me and Eamonn just passed that truck on before the bend.
The back end tonight.
Yeah, but
Anyway, the front end of it. Brake.
I've not touched my brakes, guys. No need to on hilly, is there? Probably so.
Okay then, we've just made it from Shimla to Narkanda. Is it Narkanda?
Narkanda.
Yeah, Narkanda. Problems with the road.
Bad road.
Landslides, huge section of trees, huge rocks, cows. To use of cones because the road's cracking and crumbling away on the right hand side.
Yeah. It's hard work, wasn't it?
Horrible fumes off wagons.
Yeah, looking at dusty. That last 5 k's alright then, wasn't it?
There's a good stretch of road there the last bit.
Yeah.
And that made that rough section worthwhile, throwing the bikes around those bends.
Yeah, yeah.
We've got plenty more of that rough stuff to come.
Very good.
Them trucks, you'll find them everywhere in India. Never go away.
And we're probably about 8,000 feet. A bit out of breath when you're walking at any sort of pace.
Yeah.
That's like twice the height of Ben Nevis.
Yeah.
And it's probably, I don't know, what, 28 degrees?
At least, yeah, so hot.
Very dusty.
Yeah.
Lorry fumes really get on your nerves.
Yeah. Well, we just found this bar.
Yeah, this bar.
We're selling some nice beers now. Yeah.
I can recommend those omelettes. Very good.
Omelettes?
Yeah, omelette with the chilli.
Okay, sounds good.
Very good.
The essential Kingfisher beer.
Cobra today.
It's Cobra?
Yeah, Cobra.
Oh, I haven't seen that one before.
Wait, around there.
Yeah.
Cobra beer, that's
Cobra. Very good.
Well, we're looking for the hotel. It's got to be 5-star. 4 rooms. Decent showers.
Yeah.
We've all got black in our eyes.
Okay, we're done. I reckon 54k today, you reckon?
Yes.
But it's been hard road, isn't it? It's been rough and bumpy.
It took us nearly 2 hours to get out of Shimla.
Which was a good start. And then when Phil's
We
break
had
down.
one last look at the plaza, didn't we, Andy? I like it. We got arrested for driving the
pedestrian precinct.
pedestrian precinct.
Brilliant.
Everything's relative,
Yeah.
Good.
We had a really bad time on the train.
I reckon we should reenact that just for posterity.
pretend we're on the train.
Gaz can be Gaz. I'll be one of the young students who sat next to you.
That's
We have that quote you were.
Right, so this guy sat beside me. We've been on this train for something like 8 hours, tied out. We haven't slept for 3 days. We've been travelling, trying to sleep at the airport. And this train's just like dead slow, and it's getting stuck, the wheels are spinning, and the engine's conking out, the engine's on fire.
And they're the party.
Oil pissing out everywhere. It's absolutely useless. It's got too many coaches on it. And I told him it wants scrapping. I said, it's absolutely rubbish, you want scrapping. And him over there, Steve, it's brilliant, it's brilliant. We're all sat there, absolutely.
one of the best trains in the world, though.
So what about the party that got on board then, Gaz? What about that then?
Oh, right, yeah, we've got the university lot doing the Bollywood reenactment singing. So he couldn't even sleep. Just like, too much noise.
Well, everybody else enjoyed it though, Gaz. It was only you, wasn't it?
No, I didn't like it at all. You're going to be asshole.
Don't eat it all, James.
Gulab jamun.
What is it?
Gulab jamun.
What is it though?
That's more difficult. I don't know. Just very nice. Like a sort of rum bar, but
A rum baba.
syrup.
Right, okay.
It's sugary.
An Indian sweet.
Right, to actually drop it was not good,
Yeah.
but I'm glad it happened where it did. Front brake was binding.
Yeah.
There was a free bit of the wheel and then it would bind on.
Yeah.
And I think what happened is I got onto the mud just as it bound and bit, and that fetched the front end away and
Yeah.
chucked
Yes.
the back end around.
Walking around.
Loads of money.
What do you reckon, Gaz? Nice hotel?
1,000 rupees out there.
Nice hotel, is it?
I don't know. Looks like a shithole, really.
It looks alright, it looks good.
Nice view.
Looks very nice to me.
It looks very nice to me as well.
We're sanding it down to give it some adhesion, bonding.
Yep.
And then we're trying to fill it with arrowdite.
This is a big crack in it, isn't there?
There's a crack in it, we just fell off it.
Yeah.
It'll never work.
So Steve's taken a bit of bandage and covered the the crack in the case and then smeared a load of araldite all over it, which should harden overnight. So hopefully tomorrow morning we should have a nice repaired crankcase.
Fucking sieve.
What are you doing, Gaz? Gaz, what are you doing?
I wonder if it's really
The official insect killing.
hovering around the hotel. Oh God, where is it? Where's it gone?
Yes, you can.
I've seen it.
Don't move.
It's here, it's on your head.
Where is it gone?
Oh, see, look. We got it. Oh, it's not there. Oh, he's come back again, look. This is the official monkey's bank.
Monkey's bunker.
Close up on the wine, look.
What's this one, Gaz?
Got it.
So this is Kalpa apple wine, is it?
Yeah.
Is it any good?
Absolutely rammed.
Yep.
Don't pan.
We've just come back to, what was that series in the 80s? Spit an image over there, look.
Hello. Nobby Green here. First day on the bikes, not been good. We're all a bit pissed off, tired. Very long journey here. And we've got some serious issues with the riders. Not making very much progress at all. And if we're going to do the circuit we want to do, things have got to alter somewhat. But enjoying it, enjoying the company.
Dad did that, I keep looking around it.
And I think that's about it. Some of the lads need to get their arses in gear. That's what I think. Bye.
Go on, let's see your name.
It's Eamonn's video diary here. We're in Narkanda. We've done about 50 or 60 kilometres since Shimla today. It's not been a good day. Got lost coming out of Shimla, which was a complete fuck up really. We've had a couple of bad incidents really, to be honest with you. Phil unfortunately fell off his bike not far out of town and whacked his brake lever quite badly and put a hole in his primary case, which took us a good 3 or 4 hours to sort out, getting the locals to weld things up and being told we can't repair his primary case, we've got to go back to Shimla, which was not on the cards, but we've moved on up the road, we've done a bit of aralditing and sorted it all out. Going back a bit, we flew into Delhi on time and everything else, and by the time we sorted out money and paid Lally Singh, who's the guy that's let us have borrowed these bikes from, because he's our friend, of course, because we're not allowed to rent them, of course, you remember that, we're in India. By the time we'd sorted all that out with him, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. Then we had a couple of beers and we went to bed at about 3:30, up for 5:30, and then we got on the train, which was fantastic. Executive class from Delhi to where was it? Chandigarh, yeah, fantastic, absolutely. To get on this wonderful toy train that everyone had spoken about, it is this picturesque Hansel and Gretel fucking world of wonderful trees and scenery, which was, well, Gaz will tell you more about it, but it was fucked really. It took us 10 hours, and the train couldn't pull the carriages up the hill really. You'd have thought they learned something after 100 years of railways really, wouldn't you? But they seem to have got it all wrong. So by the time we got into Shimla, it was very late at night, and yet again we had very little sleep. So we started off this morning not really as fit as we should have been, and we've got fucking nowhere, and we've really got to pull our socks up tomorrow, or we're not going to get round this circuit, that's for sure. People have got to start pulling their weight a bit and pushing on past trucks and buses, and not taking their life in their hands obviously, but just putting it out there a little bit, and otherwise it's not going to happen. Anyway, that's enough from me.
That's just a video diary. Really enjoying it up so far. Tough travelling though to actually get here. we made the decision to meet at the airport in Birmingham and then wait for a flight at 6:30, so we thought we might get some sleep at the airport. We didn't. Got a bit of sleep on the plane, so really tired when we got into Delhi. Really tired. We left Delhi on a train. It was unbelievable. That was the worst bit. I mean, you know, I'm pretty we didn't video some of it, but it was absolutely diabolical. And no, I admit it, I was really not happy with that train. It was absolutely awful. We was on it for something like 8 or 9 hours, and it was just, I can't say anymore. It was just bad, shit, really awful. We hadn't slept now for sort of 2 days, going into 3. And then we got into Shimla, which was nice, real nice hotel.
Down bed.
It was alright, I wasn't worried about that after what I'd just gone through on the train. But when I left Shimla, we didn't get very far, 54 kilometres in a whole day. I mean, I'm not going to slag anyone off, but James, you know, God, it's like a fucking hour to pack your bag. He's only got 2 bags. Right? And then Phil, absolutely, I couldn't believe it. He falls off his bike and that lost us another 2 hours. And he reckons his brake was sticking on, but I mean, you could spin it with your hands, it was binding a bit, but you know, it wasn't locking the front end up. So it wasn't so good today. We didn't get much distance, and we do want to do the whole circuit, but we'll have to see.
Early start this morning, went to Kalpa, went to search all the luggage, my passport's either lost or stolen, so not a good start to the day, but we're going to push on anyway. That's about it really. We ring the embassy once we get to the next hotel.
Yeah, try and get a replacement passport,
Yeah, replacement passport.
Yeah, okay.
Apart from that, we don't know where it's gone.
Yeah, okay.
Cut.
Today's objective was to get to the village of Kalpa, high above the river Sutlej, which we saw for the first time today and which we'll be following for the next several days.
Rampa now, just come down a really steep section, 900 metres on really good tarmac. We're heading up to Kalpa, which is going to be what, 2,900 metres.
Yeah.
It's red hot, as you can see. It's a nasty looking car there though.
Bit rough.
The rivers were still quite full after the heavy rains, and even on the main roads we noticed that sections at the side of the road had been washed away and simply coned off.
So what's the plan then?
Well, we're going to strap the camcorder to Nobby's helmet. Nobby's going to ride through the group,
Right.
taking some superb shots, but I'm not sure how he's going to operate the camera.
I'm feeling right bloody jolly.
So where's it on?
Well, Chris will be able to set it off. It's that basically that one.
happened?
Oh, stopped for a pee break and left the kill switch on, and then stupidity award of the day, wondered why it wouldn't start again. So I've just had the carburetor to bits until I realised what was going on.
Diary, that's where we are.
Eamonn, you
Still
got
100 miles from Kalpa, 100 kilometres from Kalpa.
let me 100.
What?
Let me 100 or something small.
Oh, hang on, start again.
Replay, what you found there, guys?
What you found in your pocket?
Just demonstrate. Instead of put your passport in here. Yes?
Yes.
In actual fact, I put it in there.
And of course you couldn't feed it because of the knee pads. And what do you have to say to, in response to your comments about the employees of a certain hotel room just left?
Yeah.
You stupid boy.
I've found it now. It is.
Can you please?
Yeah, there we go. Maggie, got your passport back.
You never lost it.
Fucking hell.
I'm going to rewrite this now, Cash. We didn't cancel it.
This next section of the road was pretty spectacular, quite dangerous, and Phil for one had a bit of a moment, as you'll see in a minute.
There's a big hole in it, isn't there? It's in the hole in the barrier.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There's no way round now. I know what we'll do. We'll fucking chisel the fucking cliff out.
And then Phil, what's just happened?
Basically, I'm riding with Eamonn. He come round a right-hander, blind right-hander. I lost sight of Eamonn, and as I come into the bend, there's one of these trucks that's on the way up behind us, and he's there filling the road, and I've got nowhere to go. Everything locked up. I went towards the crash barrier to try and avoid him, and thinking I'm going over the edge of it. The truck broke, and he stopped, and I managed to squeeze past. That's why we stopped here now. I called with Eamonn, and I said, "However, I was shaking like a leaf."
Well, it's misfiring and backfiring, so we're just
basically down to a loose plug cap. We're just putting Steve's plug cap on to make sure that's the problem. If it runs fine, then we know what we're mucking about with James's.
Yeah.
James's bike, points aren't opening at all. So we're trying to reset the points, put a new spark plug in, and hopefully that'll turn it longer. Right, okay?
This is Chris's video diary, and so far it's been a fantastic trip, fantastic travelling, awesome scenery. We've had a few fairly major problems with the bikes, but the guys are so good at fixing problems. It's second nature to them. You know, James's bike's got misfiring problems, and they're all down there now. Trying to fix it with araldite, with whatever comes to hand. So it's great to travel with such a great bunch of knowledgeable guys, and they're a real good laugh as well. So we had a fantastic time. Lots of laughing, lots of joshing around, and so it's been really enjoyable. And the next few days, the riding is going to continue as it has been for the last few days. To be tough going, very rough roads, very bumpy. These bikes aren't really cut out for these kind of roads, but this is what we have in India, and it's part of the whole kind of Indian biking heritage kind of thing. So I'm sure we'll grow to love the bikes despite all their foibles, but we knew there'd be foibles anyway. So yeah, great time, loving the bike, loving the scenery, loving the company. It's all brilliant, to quote Steve, it's all brilliant. I couldn't agree more.
Right, James's stator plate is absolutely fucked, so we've got to try and get a new one from that.
It's firing a bit, yeah.
You know where that's not charging either. We need to get a new one. Get the bike back up here, get the bike back to the hotel, and then go back to somewhere.
Right, they're back.
We're in Reckong, PO, which is the regional capital of Kinnaur, the district that we're currently travelling through. It's got an awesome location, perched just above the river Sutlej, in the shadow of Kinnaur Kailash, which you can see in the distance there, in the cloud. Amazing views.
and it's a thriving market town.
We've decided to have a day's break. We were going to go down the Sangla Valley today, but we realised it's a fair old hike, about 180 kilometres. So we need a real full day at that. We've got a few minor problems with the bikes to sort out. We need to change some money. We've just noticed the ATM isn't working, and we found out the road up into the Spiti Valley is still blocked. Could be 2 days, could be 3 days, could be a week. We don't know. So it's basically a mission. Get some money, get some spares, chill out and get up early for the ride down the valley tomorrow.
Well, it's a lovely sunny day, as you can see. Fantastic scenery. I decided to get my boots going. I can do with a sit down anyway. By the way, it's 2 rupees. So this is where I'm going to go and have a look at the hairdressers
Riverside refreshments are.
Are they cold?
Yeah.
Ah, very good.
They are?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Cheers!
Yeah.
Okay, don't drop the camera over the edge. Camera's gonna.
Wanna get a burger then, Chris? From the swimming pool.
Growing like a weed, just like nettles do in England, and nobody's bothered about it. And I've tied a bit on here hoping it's going to sort of dry out in the wind.
What is it there, Gaz?
It's cannabis. It's buds, look. It's actual buds. It's buds, and it's just growing like weed, and nobody's bothered. Cows are eating it. It's just like a weed. Right, I'll just demonstrate that we're just outside the hotel here, doing some building work, and this is just like the normal situation. So I'll just move around here. It just grows everywhere. I mean, just everywhere. It's just buds are everywhere, and this is just a small bit outside the hotel. In the wild, it's just everywhere. I mean, you know, it's unbelievable.
Well, this is the view from the hotel room in the afternoon, and it's about the clearest it's been, so I'll do a quick pan around so you get an idea. Sorry about the banging, they're doing some building work. So what a stunning view. All the way around to Kalpa village, which is nestling just below us. Oh, we're just on the road with James testing out his fixed bike, and look what we've come across. A couple of little sheep herders. Hello!
Hello, bye.
Hello.
I reckon that this is like one of the most dramatic mountain scenes I've seen in my life, really. I don't know whether it's going to get any better on the trip, but
It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
It's something else, that is. It's just getting dusk. We've got a fire going.
Just waiting for dinner.
We've got chicken and chips and a load of curry as well.
This one.
Topi! Kinori topi!
Kinori topi?
Yeah, kinori topi.
Kinori topi.
Kinori topi. Is that local?
Local, yeah.
Kiss me quick, Eamonn.
Good. Keeps your head warm.
11 at night, and just about to nod off when the plinky plonks have started up again. If it's not the dogs barking, it's the wailing of this Hindu house festival.
Ready, here we go.
Listen to this, we're going to go quiet. So I think if you can hear that, I think you'll get the gist of it. No night.
Today we're heading up the gorgeous side valley, the Sangla Valley, where wolves and bears and snow leopards still roam, but the day starts with a bit of a mystery.
So what happened then, Nobby?
I heard something or somebody go across the room, a single story at the back. I heard the window open, because I heard the window open and it just pushed to. And I shouted, "Hello? Who is it?" Got up and put the light on. And then I could see it and it was gone.
Yeah, so we reckon it was a monkey. Are there monkeys? Are there monkeys here?
Monkeys?
Yeah, monkeys. No?
No.
But there's any monkeys? No monkeys.
Right, you tell me. That's Steve if he heard that.
Alright. So you just come back from town.
Yeah.
What's happened?
Went to the garage. He cut a Coke can up with a big pair of scissors, made a raw plug in put it into the hole, smacked it with an hammer to get it started, and then got a great big wrench in it and drove it in till it was solid.
So this is James's points, isn't it?
That's James's points. It's perfect now.
Yeah.
Absolutely rock solid now.
Right.
Can't move that stator plate.
Brilliant.
Okay, right, we've got about, don't know, so many hours of daylight. We've got another 26 kilometres to go and get back. And I think that we should press on.
Yeah, we're heading
where we're going instead of keep stopping all the while.
We're in the Sangla Valley, by the way, everybody. It's 20 past 1 in the afternoon, and we've got until about 7 o'clock before it gets dark. And we're 20k from our destination.
Yeah.
And we've got all the rest of the afternoon to get back, to take photos and whatever else we want to do, really.
Try and get happier when we're on his way back. Absolutely nothing. It'll be 3 days happier when we're on his way back. Then you can take your time and do what you want.
Yep.
Head back and try and video the road on the way back on Nobby's head camp.
Just going to get a bit of footage of the lads coming through the river. Hopefully one of them will fall off. And here is James in his bloody silly fluorescent jacket.
Old Monk, that's what we need. We need a bottle of Old Monk.
Old Monk.
Famous Goan rum.
So what are we all doing sitting around the campfire then? In the lobby?
Thanking the monkeys out.
Oh dear. Well, we've had a good day out, haven't we?
Yeah, we've done the Sangla Valley today. I reckon we'll have a good day tomorrow because we're going back over.
I can't wait to get through the dam. I mean, you know.
Yeah, that'll be splendid. That will.
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn that damn soul.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the dam then, Gaz?
No, it was absolutely shit. We're glad when it's full of water.
Yeah. You'll clean them roads up, won't it? It's got to be pretty horrendous. One of the most horrendous bits of riding I've had to do.
Okay, Friday evening, here in Kalpa. Been away for 1 week now. I've got collared tonight with the video diary. It's the last night here in Kalpa. We arrived on Wednesday. Problems with one of the bikes, running very sick. We've had to get that sorted out. Whilst we were here, we also found out that the upper reaches of the Sutlej Valley were blocked by a landslide. Last Friday, actually, the day we set off from the UK. It's definitely blocked. So we look like we're having to turn back and go a different route. We're having to retrace our steps. The one good thing about that is that since Wednesday I haven't had a phone signal at all. Even though I've bought an Indian SIM card and topped it up, I've had no contact with home, which has been difficult to say the least. So I'm looking forward to getting back to an area where I can at least use the phone and make a call tomorrow. The on-bike camera footage that we've shot so far has been excellent. Really good quality piece of equipment that we've purchased here. Got some really good footage. Everybody's in good spirits. Everybody's tired. A lot of travel involved, obviously, to get here where we are. No Delhi belly as yet. Just Steve with plenty of wind. I suppose I'm adding to that as well. I'm going to sign off at that. Hopefully we have a safe journey tomorrow. A really dodgy area to go back through where I had a real narrow miss on the way through with a truck in the road, so we're taking it steady back through there tomorrow. And as soon as we do pull up for chai or tea, I'll be switching the phone on and hopefully contacting Lorraine at home. Alright, thanks a lot. See you.
Day 7, and we're back on the road today. So we leave our nice hotel perched above the Sutlej River at Kalpa, and we head into the upper reaches of the Sutlej Valley Gorge, where it gets very spectacular. It was to prove a very eventful day.
Well, we've just arrived at the start of the inner line permit area. This is the area of India that's the borders Tibet, so we need special passes to get in here. This is the police post. It's been a gorgeous ride up the valley, really narrow gorge and the Sutlej River. And this is the police check post where we're all showing our inner line permits that we got in Shimla.
It was on tour, wasn't it, Dalai Lama? It was at Ice Stadium, it was Nottingham. My mother went to see it, it was skating. They weren't skating. Did you do that figure skating then, the old Dalai Lama? Yeah. Spandex on. The stars on ice, you know.
Okay, just arrived at the checkpoint, Lipajangi, on the road to Nako. We've all had the passports checked and the inner line permits. All the bikes are running okay, it's loaded up with full of fuel. We have been told though that the road's blocked in front of us. We're just going to suck it and see.
Well, here we are. We've just arrived in a little place called Pooh, P-O-O-H, which is it's just really a military outpost on the way up to Nako. But it's been an absolutely fantastic road. Very good tarmac. Awesome gorge, very steep side. We're actually going through the middle of the Himalayas from south to north, so it's hardly surprising that the scenery is so incredible. So we're cutting right through the heart of the Himalayas. It's a gorgeous sunny day, very hot, and we've just stopped to assess where the road carries on. So more later.
Well, that's the road we've just come up. Pretty spectacular, to say the least. The road clings to the side of the cliff face there. It's carved out of the side of the cliff and then follows into these hairpin bends. So we're going to head up to the top of the hairpin bends and shoot a bit more at the top.
Well, here we are, just above the hairpins on the way to Nako, and Eamonn's had an off.
That's gone. Alternator. Bastard if that one bent. We've got to run it, Eamonn.
Went over the handlebars, hit the big rock there, and ended up in the bushes over there somewhere, so we're just trying to get it back running again.
It's dead. Well, we can't ride it with the alternator off, can we? It won't work. Hello.
There's the smashed up primary case.
That's what's done it, look.
I mean, if only we could get that alternator going again, we could maybe even ride it. Handlebars got bent completely forward. Crash bars crashed into the primary case and smashed it all up.
The only thing we can do is go to Nako, get a truck.
Yep.
Isn't it?
I think so. If it can't run, we either tow it or we stick it on a truck.
Towing it's going to be dodgy up here, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're best fetching a truck, aren't we?
Yeah, Nako's probably about 20 k's away at the moment.
Is that just bits of valley or is that? Just bits of valley. That's all. If we get an alternator and these inner and outer case, primary drive and a cover for it, you'd be a runner.
Well, let's leave it. Let's leave it here. Ride to Nako. See if we can get a truck from Nako.
Are we someone gonna stay with it? It's all my kit and everything, hasn't it?
We'll take your kit off.
We'll split your kit up. It's gonna be difficult to split the kit up and get me on the back of a bike. Well, you can go on back of me.
I'll take your kit.
Are we the last men?
Yeah.
Rest of them up front. Then unless we can get a truck and come back for it, aren't we?
I think so.
Because you ain't going to tow on the...
Okay, so the plan is to hide Eamonn's bike just behind these hillocks here. We'll get a truck from Nako, which is just up the road. As I say, just up the road. The road is kind of goes over towards those cliffs, halfway up those cliffs before we get to Nako. So we've got quite a trek. We're hoping Gaz might come back soon with the tools so we can take the alternator off, which has been smashed up, and see if we can just get it running to limp back to limp onwards to Nako. So this lorry's just stopped. So we're going to try and use this embankment as a loading bay. Try and get the bike on board the lorry, get it taken to Nako. So where there's a will, there's a way. We'll get it there.
I'll get it in front.
It's better at the back. Stop it breaking the drop. Ready?
Fantastic job. So there we go, we're ready to go now. The bike's on the back of the truck. We're going to accompany this very kind Indian Army guy to, hopefully to Nako. He said he's going to Malling, but hopefully we can convince him to take us to Nako, which is where, well, hopefully there's going to be a garage. So there goes Eamonn with his bike on the back of the truck. We're going to follow on, but well, probably overtake him and tell the other guys what's happened. And, well, get his bike fixed, simple as that.
Thank God for Indian trucks, though. Hey? Thank God for Indian trucks.
Yeah.
Well, that's the scene of Eamonn's accident. We're just following Eamonn now in the truck. But that's where we've come from. You can see one of those hairpins is where he actually had his incident. So we're just going to go up the hairpins, get to Nako and sort his bike out. But what an awesome gorge, what an awesome road. So that's where the road carries on to, along the edge of the cliff. Literally carved out of the cliff, you can see in the far distance there. Amazing road.
There's the road, and there's the drop off.
We just sit there. We don't know what's
there. I know, I understand that.
At least we know it's
I'm alright, mate,
back on queue.
I've had an apple.
You know what I mean?
I do, yeah, I know what I mean.
We know there's a shop there anyway. And then people blasting about on Enfield.
So we decided the best way to fix the bike was to head back to Reckong Pier, where we knew there were garages, rather than pressing on into the unknown. In the meantime, the rumours about the road being blocked were completely true. Just past Nako at a place called Malling, a notorious landslide area, there was an enormous landslide that the Indian Army were trying to clear.
You can obviously walk across, but getting the bikes across is going to be another thing altogether. So we're going to check out if they've got a wire system set up.
Ow! Did you get it?
Yeah.
Oh. Shit. Oh,
watch out, watch out. Very good.
Stand on it, just get it down. Stand up on there. Oh my god, there's some big boulders there.
Good piece.
That was bloody frightening. The local guys here were saying get back, and we just thought they were trying to say stay away from the edge. And then they said the word blasting, and we went stood back, and then there's been about 3 blasts. Half the mountain come down, a few pebbles landing on us as well, so whew, that's got the heart going.
And that's what it should be, the road. The road kind of goes up there and around. It's supposed to go through there where the huge great landslide is and carrying over there, but there's just no way that's going to be open for several days at least, if not a week or several weeks. So there's the bulldozer that's going in now after they've just done the blasting. So I guess this is the story of clearing the road. They blast a bit out and then they go and make a road.
Do you know what amazes me is that they've got no cage on the bulldozer. I mean, they're going to be moving stuff and stuff's going to come down on top of them.
Yeah.
Chances of that's a dangerous job, driving that bulldozer. Because of the stuff above him.
Absolutely.
Back in Nako, we watch live UK football, rather bizarrely for such a remote place, with a group of Austrian archaeologists who are here to preserve Nako's ancient Buddhist temples.
Well, it's 6 o'clock in the morning and we've just woken up in Nako, so yeah, cracking little place. We've got to go and fix Eamonn's bike today, so we're all going to head back down to Reckong PO, get his bike sorted out. There is a zip wire system, so we could send the bikes across on the zip wire. We didn't actually see it though, and the Enfield Bullet on a zip wire would be pretty heavy, so I'm not sure that's an option. And we've really got to get Eamonn's bike back to Reckong PO to get it fixed, because it's not a goer at the moment, and we don't really want to break the group up. So unfortunately, we're going to head back.
Yeah, mongrels.
Morning, Sab. We'll be ready for your chai.
Good morning, sir.
Chai, Sab.
Morning, Sabs. You're bloody sleepy.
In the deep recesses, you can see the local inheritance here.
What time is it then?
It's now nearly 6:20.
Is it?
Yeah. The alarm call didn't work. Didn't you hear the cow?
I heard a couple of donkeys.
Yeah, massive.
This is where we're staying with our host Singh. He's making us a round of chai at the moment. And another funny story, they said the Dalai Lama came to visit a couple of years ago, and that's why they installed this solar powered street lighting. So obviously modernity is coming gradually to Nako. And the other funny thing, the guy who works in the hotel we stayed at, or we ate at, it's his first season here. He's an avid Arsenal fan, so he's installed cable TV, satellite TV, which is why we're watching the Arsenal-Newcastle game last night in a Tibetan village. Quite bizarre.
Eamonn and Nobby head back to get Eamonn's bike fixed back in Reckong PO.
Yeah, true.
We have the intention of following on later on. In the meantime, it didn't quite work out that way. We went to check out the zip wire, and between us came to the conclusion that it would be best for us all to go over the zip wire rather than going all the way back and virtually doubling the mileage by returning to Reckong PO and doing the circuit in the opposite direction. So the problem with that decision was that we couldn't get in touch with Eamonn or Nobby because of the state of the phone network. We couldn't get in touch with them. So we spent a bit of time considering that and frantically trying to get the number of the garage they were going to, not really knowing what garage they were going to, trying to get in touch with a hotel we stayed at back in Kalpa, which is just up the hill from Reckong PO. Pretty much desperately trying to get in touch with Eamonn or Nobby to explain what we decided in their absence. We also found that there was a Tibetan wedding happening in the village.
Just trying to write a piece in the book, Chris, at the moment. I'm just surrounded by these kids. I've got one pen on me and they all want the pen. And the little girl who was the first here has stayed closest. Now I'm going to give her the pen now. I've no doubt they'll all make a grab for it. For you. No more. Sorry.
Just working up. It's the 1st of September.
Very cold.
Very cold this morning. There's Shanti who helps out in the kitchen, and he's putting on a bit of a wood burner stove today to heat up some water so we can have a wash. It's significantly colder this morning. Don't know whether the wind's changed direction, but gathering around the wood burner is going to keep us all nice and warm. Within this tent, let's see what's going on in here, shall we? Oh, Gollum.
Hey?
It's Gollum.
Gollum.
You alright, Gaz?
Yeah.
Feeling alright?
Well, I slept okay. I don't know about walking around out of breath.
Yeah. Well, Steve's feeling better. His headache's gone.
Right.
Yeah, I think laying off the beer helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, we've got big problems with this wire thing.
Yeah.
If there's any truth in what James was saying, they want like 80 quid to go across per bar.
Nah, they don't. Nah, it's
well, James has said
500 rupees.
No, he told me 7,000 the Israelis paid.
No, 700.
Well, he said 7,000 to me this morning.
He's winding you up.
He's got it wrong, hasn't he?
Winding you up, mate.
Right, I'm coming out then.
Alright then.
I hope it's not sleeping the camera. Oh,
that better?
This is brilliant because the whole water makes the whole thing, the whole room warm. So it's like a proper warm shower.
Excellent.
Warm room. It's lovely.
So what's the system?
You've got a hot bucket of hot water, and then another bucket with some cold water in.
Yeah.
And then you mix it up so that the with a special blue scoop here, and so that the cold water one is just right. And you just splash it over your head.
Cool,
There's
like
a stool
a
to sit
mandi.
on. Well, yeah, it's not. That's an Indonesian
Nako
thing.
version of a mandi.
Yeah. They call it just a bucket shower.
Now, what did you call it last night?
Who, me?
What was it? What mandi?
A hot mandi.
Can't beat
I fancy a hot mandi in the morning.
Fantastic.
Right, Gaz. Alright. Find out interesting in the bins.
Oh yeah, we found some.
Gaz was rifling through the bins earlier on and came across. This is a lovely rural Tibetan village.
But they do like the Malaysian condoms. Well, I've just wandered up onto the roof of the hotel in Nako and discovered what must be the last night's beer supply.
This is
or maybe not last night, maybe a couple of nights.
it's Gaz and Phil.
Yeah, Gaz and Phil's.
And the leftover from Eamonn and Nobby.
That's it.
There's your beer supply, Gaz. Been drinking. Didn't realise you had so much.
Gas plan.
And then Gaz, what's it?
So 2 of us, probably me and Steve, going to ride up to the landslide and see what the crack is there, borrow your binos.
Yeah.
And maybe negotiate a deal across if it's not looking bad.
Yeah, okay.
Road opening.
Yeah.
Good or bad plan?
Try it.
Yeah, good plan, yeah. It's pointless for all of us hanging around here. We're just waiting here for the lines, the telephone lines to open up in the village. There's 2 lines and they're both apparently being used at the moment. So we can't get in touch with Eamonn or at the garage in Reckong PA.
As we were getting ready to check out the landslide, Eamonn and Nobby arrived back unexpectedly early, pissed off and worried that we hadn't followed them back to Reckong PO as we'd originally planned. Once we'd all calmed down a bit and group harmony is restored, they tell us what an amazing job the local mechanic has done fixing Eamonn's sorry looking bike. As we'd suspected, the crankshaft had been bent in the accident, usually meaning major engine work. However, the mechanic just used a lump hammer to get it straight. The bike was now running as good as ever.
That would be a temptation to walk across it.
Oh yeah, I think he looks alright.
Go and do that now.
I think he looks alright.
I'm just weighing up the odds whether it's worth walking across the screw there. It really was dangerous the other day. It looks like it's not so dangerous today. I'm just trying to make an assessment whether we dare walk across the screw there. Further down in the valley there's a cable winch, and I reckon it would take bikes across.
The winch operators confirmed that it is possible to put the bikes on the zip wire, so we decided to go across in the morning. This is brilliant news. Backtracking would have added another 400 plus miles onto the route, meaning more long, arduous and dangerous riding.
Tuesday morning, we've been about 10 minutes. We'll be driving to 4,500 metres to a place called Kaza across the landslide. We're going to take the Enfields across on a wire, winch wire. Yeah, and then we've got to either walk across the top or actually walk across the landslide. Me and Chris went to have a look yesterday, not too bad. So it's looking pretty good really.
Yep. Well, we've just arrived at the cable winch and just going to try and negotiate a price.
The price that we eventually negotiated was 4,700 rupees for all 7 bikes, which is about £60. This type of zip wire system is actually quite common in the Himalayas. We saw quite a few going across rivers. This particular one was just a temporary one to get across the landslide, but it was quite long. We estimated it to be about half a kilometre.
Well, there's Gaz and Eamonn and Steve just about to get to the landslide to walk across. Just at the section with the 2 huge boulders above their heads there, which Gaz was a bit worried about yesterday. And I'm just going to zoom back so you get an idea of exactly where they are there. And we've got to get across that landslide to where the embankment is on the far side. That's where the road gets back to normal. Here's Nobby.
Come on boys, what are you waiting for? Next one looks like Gaz in a white t-shirt. Not too sure about things. Or maybe he's waiting for the Indian to come across. Giving Gaz a bit of a hand maybe. Maybe it's not quite as easy as it looks after all. Yeah, nearly across. Looking very careful there. Looks like Steve's still got his helmet on. It's a sensible idea. Looks like Gaz across. Looks like Eamonn in the middle now.
The bike was attached to the pulling cable by a piece of wood and a twisted piece of wire, and the operators scribbled notes to each other as the bikes went from one side to the next. The cable operators insisted that we took the luggage off. The weight of a wet Enfield, i.e. with all the oil etc. in, is 412 pounds. So I guess that was near the operating limit. And much to myself and Nobby's disappointment, they wouldn't let us travel across in the baskets. What a shame.
To that corner will do.
So what's the road like around there then, Eamonn?
We got on around this corner for about, I think, about half a kilometre. We've got this sort of rough, shaly ground. You have to be real careful, especially on this bend just here. And then it looks to me, and you can see it from here, as if we're going on to good tarmac.
Right.
And hopefully, that's what we'll stick with.
Yeah, I've been told that.
Yeah.
I don't know when he's filmed the bike, it'll just pan up behind us and show you what sort of terrain we're in, and it's just, it could just landslide at any minute. It's real bad. So
So you're not a happy bunny then?
There's nothing you can do about it. You've just got to ride through it and hope for the best. Concentrate on the road, really. If you don't, then you'll come off. Then you have to decide.
Well, there's James and Phil, just about to arrive at the landslide section, taking it steadily up the slope. Okay boys, what do you think to that then? Is that good?
I like the crushed car on the way, just to remind you what you're walking around in.
That was scary.
Hard work as well.
Yeah, you really feel the altitude, can't you?
As I say, high altitude fear.
Knee's gone again, Chris. So.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, we're all across safe and sound now. All the bikes are across too.
Good. Let's go then.
Okay. Well done.
So that was it. We made it into the Spiti Valley through all kinds of trials and tribulations. We were finally on a deserted, pristine road heading into the heart of this ancient, arid Buddhist valley in the high Himalayas.
Well, we've just arrived in Tabo. It's about 4 o'clock and Eamonn's got a puncture, 4:30.
Andy's got a puncture.
Andy's got a puncture.
Swearing, isn't it? Two. We know the big one's on that your side, isn't it? Yeah, that's right, yeah. It's this little one here. Yeah. Does go in there.
Now that goes in the wheel. It goes in the wheel.
Yeah, pull it, Mike. That's right.
Too shouldn't
Now Phil's got a problem as well. His front end feels a bit loose.
Steering headstock.
Head bearings have become loose and this one's tying up again. Again, eh? Yeah. Has that happened before?
Yeah. First day out.
Yeah.
It's tough going though, isn't it, Chris?
If there's an Enfield mechanic in. I think there'll be one in Kaza, yeah.
Kaza, we might just have to get some new head bearings first.
Yeah.
We go backwards. Big sign there, see those wild deer?
No! Where were they?
They came across the road in front of us, and then they were going up this sort of shaly bank. About 3 or 4 miles back up the road. They didn't look anything particularly.
They weren't bluish, blue sheepy type things, were they?
No, they were definitely a deer.
Right.
They looked a bit, obviously mountainous, but they were pretty much
excellent.
Standard deer material.
Yeah, we just saw an eagle as well up one of the side valleys.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed
on the way up to the place with the mummy.
Just after the police checkpoint at Sangla, we took a wrong turn looking for the Tibetan border and made an amazing discovery. A 500-year-old Tibetan Lama mummy. This Lama had come to help save the village of Gway by starving himself and dying and becoming a mummy in Tibetan traditional style. Now this was incredibly well preserved. You can still see the hair on the head. The next amazing place that we came across was the monastery at Dankar, high up on the side of the valley. We would come back to this monastery for a more thorough inspection the following day.
Nearly in Kaza, aren't we?
80 kilometres from Kaza. It's been a real long day. I mean, up at 6, didn't get much sleep last night.
It's been good fun, hasn't it, today?
Yeah.
Good riding today.
It's been a long day though.
Yeah.
It'd be good to get something to eat, maybe a shower. The altitude's turning me beard white.